Hey, how are you doing? Stephen Robb here for SpartanAvenue.com. I'm a writer there, and I got to say the Big Ten did not look good. Didn't impress me last weekend. They really struggled all over the board. As a big black eye for the Big Ten. Hopefully the teams can get it going here pretty soon, but Nebraska going down to Troy. We all knew it would be sort of a tough test for Scott Frost to really take over and get the Cornhuskers rolling there, but so far it's not been good for them. And Nebraska, it's only going to get tougher for them as they go into the big house. Can Scott Frost pull off some magic for them? My guess is no. Before the season started, I would have said yes, and I think I did say yes, but now I'm looking at it going, no, Nebraska, they're going to lose against Michigan at the big house. Wisconsin lost to BYU, and I got to say, I'm not surprised. Wisconsin's that team that like Michigan State, where they play, kind of a lot of close games, and they tend to come out on the other side of those. But they got burned last week for really playing around with a BYU team that has some players, and they'll get it. They'll give it to you, and they did certainly against the Badgers. Now the Badgers can rebound and look good against Iowa, but here's the problem: is that they're playing in Kinnick Stadium, and Iowa has looked pretty good. So if the Badgers lose this game, they still could win the West Division. They would need help, but you could forget all that talk about college football playoff. Like I said in some of my articles, Wisconsin will only go as far as Alec Hornibrook will take them. And their running game is great, but teams are going to load that box, and Alex has got to beat other teams with his arm. He can't keep throwing to the other team. Those mistakes are going to really cost them. Hopefully he can clean those up against Iowa. Well, you got Purdue, who's now lost, surprisingly, to Missouri. And I thought Purdue was going to take that step. They were a bowl team last year. They looked good. And coming into this year, they got Northwestern opening night. They lost a tough game there. And then they come to this game and they lose another tough game. And now they have Boston College at Purdue. And at least they have them at home. But man, Boston College is good. And Purdue's could be 0-4, and probably one of the best 0-4 teams in the nation. But man, it just doesn't look like the year for the Boilermakers. Then you have Indiana coming here to Bloomington. Michigan State going to Bloomington. And the Spartans have not looked good. In fact, they were my preseason. I put them in my college football playoff. And I'll stick with it, but man, they have just looked bad on defense. They've gotten exposed with the short passing game. Utah State probably just looked at what Northwestern did last year. Well, nickel and dime you all the way down the field, and then, maybe run it in with our quarterback. Arizona State, Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. He did the same thing, and he played to win the game. D'Antonio calls a timeout. Could have used that timeout. Would have had maybe 15 seconds left, but just kind of a bad overall game for the Spartans there, coaching as well as playing. Brian Lewerke, interception in the end zone. You were like, if we had that, if we didn't, but he was getting pressured, so it just wasn't the Spartans' night there in Tempe. Can they pull off a win? I almost said upset, but really, I think Indiana really has the advantage in this game, personally. Indiana has looked good. They're able to run the ball as well as pass the ball. Patrick Ramsey, he can throw the pigskin. This guy, he is going to be a really dangerous quarterback in the future. Now, can he do that this game? That remains to be seen. Can the Spartans actually get to the quarterback? We don't know. We know that Joe Bacci this week was talking about how they've been practicing, trying to get to the quarterback within 2 to 3 seconds. Hopefully they can pull it off, but again, we don't know what injuries to the players. We don't know what's going on with that. We don't really know the state of the offensive line. Is Dave Warner going to still continue to call the same conservative plays, first and second down, and then hopefully Lewerke bails them out on the third down? Look, last year, the Spartans, 10-win team, really amazing. At times looked really awesome. At times looked really bad last year. But they still managed to win games. This is the contest that's really going to dictate the Spartans this year. If they win against Indiana, then they can still possibly go to the college football playoff. although that may be difficult, and they'll need to beat everybody. And right now, I don't think that they could beat Ohio State. I'm not even sure at this moment that they could beat Michigan. So we'll see what happens with the Spartans as they progress. I need to see more from them in order to say that. But what is going to happen in this game is simply Patrick Ramsey, the Hoosiers, they'll nickel and dime them, they'll run the option, and it's going to be up to the Spartans to really put a stop to all these things. Is the bye week going to really help them out? I hope so. We'll find out, though, Saturday night. Hey, Stephen Robb here with SpartanAvenue.com. Thanks for watching. Please click the like button or subscribe. Thank you so much.